Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Glassworks is a board game by All Play, and it really takes that kind of Everdell motif of animals, really cute, and supplements it into the game. In this one, you're going to be trying to collect glass and putting it on your scoring chart as you go through. The turns are very simple. The actions you have available to you is take a piece of glass in a certain shape, put it on that tile, and you can take something adjacent to you. So right there you have a decision, okay, what do I want? I can't go to that tile if I want it, I got to be next to it. So I have a couple options, and how do I work that out? Then you're going to have it where you get the glass, and you're going to have the scoring kind of thing where like some things are more common and more rare. And you're going to be scoring the rows and the columns as you go through. So where I place this glasswork and in what turn did I get it and in what order is going to be very important. Like you don't really want to put something super duper rare in the first column because you're not going to be able to get those row bonuses. So I need to put something a little bit more common in those areas. But this is what's available to me. Do I need to just grab that rare while I can now because those are going to be big points later? And you want the common ones at the back end. Remember I told you want them at the front end, but you want them at the back end because those score more as you go higher. So there's kind of two or three different scoring ways you can go about this. And the reality is sometimes you're just going to get what you can get because what you want isn't going to be available. And those are interesting decisions as you go through. The components for this are top-notch. I got the deluxe version with the acrylic tiles. I think they look fantastic. I think the glass in this is really, really nice. The motif of the animals is really good. I like the artwork in this game. The game itself never stays as welcome. When you get 17, the game's going to trigger the end. It takes a lot less time than you think it will, and the game moves at a good quip. Could you have some analysis paralysis in this game? Maybe. So what we normally do, because we like to play a little quicker, is what you're doing the board, kind of get your thing. Then you can kind of choose what, if you got three pieces, what order do you want those in, and the next person can go ahead and go. I like that a lot. You're going to have some gamers who just like, I have to watch what everybody does, and that's going to slow it down a little bit. But the game is quick enough. It's quick enough. It never really overstays its welcome. The turns never overstay their welcomes. You won't have a lot of AP in this game. I think it works fantastic. Glasswork is a good, like, light game that I think a lot of people are going to like. It gives you some new interesting things like with the tiles and matching the glass, and you can go adjacent to it. And that scoring thing is really cool. You do want to take a couple of moments when you teach the game to like really hit that hard because that's where a lot of the fun is going to go into. It's very easy to think the first part of the game is where all decisions are made, and the second part with the scoring, you're just kind of filling it out. No, that is super duper important on that scoring side that you need to pay attention to both sides because they interlock and they work interconnected. But you need to work in a certain order, and that's so fascinating. I really like that about this game. I'm afraid this game's going to get overlooked a little bit because of the artwork. Maybe it'll be compared to like a deeper game like Everdell or Root or something like that when this game kind of stands on its own. It's a beautiful production. The rule set is very clear and crisp, and I think what you do on every turn is giving you interesting decisions. So this is an absolute winner for us, and this one will be a keeper. Here is River Valley Glassworks. This is a beautiful box. Now, I want to start off by saying I do have the deluxe Kickstarter, whatever that means. But it has this emboss on it. The characters look great. It's Andrew Bosley artwork. I just think the game looks fantastic. It's a smaller box than I thought it would be, to be honest. You're going to have these little pans here. They do have like a little indentation. You might be able to see it here. It tells you start with 3, max 5. Like great design. Kind of wish it was up a little more, almost like a bowl, but I'm not complaining about this. You're going to get a bag here. This bag is probably the nicest bag I've ever seen. It has these nice clips on the side of them. These are like metal. These are really, really nice. And you have the characters in the front of the bag. And then you have your glass shards or whatever that you have in here. These little gems. They're called glass. They all come in different shapes and colors and sizes. These are wonderful. This will be the expansion, which fits in here, but we won't talk about it in this review. You're going to have these that will latch on to the side. So you're going to look here. It's going to go right on there. As you can see, these are indented so the glass can fit on there perfectly. You're going to have for your meeple to go through and a turn structure and how rare things are. It's just very nice. On the back of each one of these is going to be a solo variant. So it has a difficulty. So this is the level 3 and how this character works. So all of these will have these. And then just to pinpoint this, is these meeples, which are fantastic looking great, right? These are awesome, double-sided. Each of them are going to have this little clip on it, and they're going to fit right in here so they don't fall over. So you can do whatever you want, and they fit I'm holding it up, so it's a little unbalanced, but it works perfect. What a great little thing. That little blip right there. Do you see how it kind of goes over? Little attention to detail. Now, mine is also going to come in a mat, which is nice, instead of a board. And I'm going to have acrylic tiles with mine that have little rocks they need on them and the shapes on them. They're going to fit. I think they're going to fit all that well on here, but they really do. And they push down brilliantly. So they work really, really nice. That you're going to have here. You're going to have enough to play 5 players. There's 5 different solo. Each one of these guys work differently. So depending on who you want to play and the difficulty level that you want to play at. So, like Cornelius is the hardest, Sheila's 3, Spring Skip is a 2, Otto is the easiest. Brilliant design. Way not to have multiple stuff that you need. It's all going to be right here. Great job. So here's the rule book. You're going to have a component list, and you can see numbers. So you do have pictures of it, and then setup kind of works the same way. The rules are fairly simple. So over here, you're going to have an overview. Game turn. This is it right here where my finger's at. This little white sliver. That's everything in the game, which is also going to be printed right here on, this will be your player age up in front of you with the rarity of the different gems or glass, which is great. So you can see pictures here with the explanation of what you do step by step, how to assign into your scoring area, and draw from the lake. So these are the 2 actions right here, gathering from the river or drawing from the lake. And then game end, final scoring, if you want some tips and reminders, and a scoring with an example. Excellent rule book. I mean, all play. Fantastic job with the rules. So each player is going to get a board here, and it's going to have, right here, you're going to put your little meeple guy, and it's going to track how many pieces of glass you have. When it gets to 17, you'll finish that round, play 1 more turn, and then you'll score up and see who wins. What you're going to do over here is your glass. And the way the glass is going on the board, whenever you take glass, you're going to put it in, let's say I got these 3 pieces right here. Just to illustrate this, I got these 3 pieces. I can put them in any order I want on the bottom because the colors don't match. Shapes do not matter. I can put them in any order I want. If I get another one of the same color I already have, it has to go here. If this is all the way full, then it will come here or my overflow and be negative points. So if I was to get a blue, I would have to start a new one. If I got another blue, I would have to go up, and another blue, I would have to go up. And if I got another color, it would kind of work like that. So when the game starts, you're going to have, everybody's going to have 3 in each of their pans. If this ever gets more than 5, then once again, it would go with my overflow and be worth negative 3 points per game. So on your turn, you're going to have 2 possible actions you could take. I'm going to show you the second one first, which will be the lake. I can take any 4 of these, add them to my pan, and they would stay there. If I have more than 5, which I do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'd be able to take any 2 I want, and then go to my overflow and be extra, and I would keep the 5. So that would not be an optimal move. I obviously wouldn't make it, but just to illustrate the point. If I took it and only had 5, then the 5 would stay here and be available to me. The other possible action, which is the one you'll take mostly, is you'll take one of your glass from your pan and you will put it on the matching area. So a heart would go here. Let's say this little squiggly guy would go here. So I'm going to put him there. Then I can take all of the gems from one of the adjacent locations. So maybe I would take this one. I would take both of these, put them in my scoring glasswork. I take the empty one, shift everything down. I would look at the one that's above it. It has 1 rock on it. I would go in and put 1 piece of glass out. That's how that turn is going to work. Now, whenever I get glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, my marker will come up to 10. This doesn't really mean anything. It's just a tracker. So you know when it gets to 17, you're going to trigger the end of the game, and everybody can kind of see where you're at. It's a courtesy more than anything. So when you take things from the lake, it just gets refilled. So there's always 5 in there. So you can take that, add it to your pan, or you can take the action of taking rocks from here. Now, remember, I said you could take something that kind of matches the hearts, or I could take 2 that are exact, and I could put those anywhere that I want. So I really want to get this. I don't have what I need to do that. I would put this here, and then I could grab all of these and start adding them into my collection. Oh, that's a different color. That wouldn't go there. That would go here. So let's talk about end of game scoring a little bit. So at the end of game scoring, you're going to score everything for your rows. So this row is completely filled. I'm going to get 22 points. The second row is not. I don't have a green and a yellow, So I'm just going to score 1 for that one, as I would for this one, and I would for this one. Let's say in this scenario I had another green one there, and potentially another yellow one. So I end the game like this. I would get 22 for the first row. I would get 7 for that row, and then 1 for this row. And remember this because these are empty. Then you're going to score your 2 highest columns. In this case, it's this one blue. I would get 16 points. This one with white, I would get 4 points. So pushing out, these are going to give you more points. If something ended up being tied, let's say it ended up being tied like this, I have 3 that are tied. So I would only score the ones that score me the least. So I'd only score for these 2 and not that one. So when you're planning things out, you want to make sure you're actually able to maximize your points. And that's a quick overview of how you play this game. Who should buy this game? Anybody who likes kind of like this puzzly atmosphere and the scoring side of it. I mean, really pay attention to that scoring because that's, to me, that just tickles my brain. I really like that. It's a little bit abstract. I mean, what you're doing doesn't really make sense. Like, why can I put this glass down? I can go adjacent to it. It's very bizarre. But it's just one of those games that if you get past that a little bit, the game itself works brilliantly, and I really like this one quite a bit. I'm going to recommend this. If this is an insta-buy, this is an insta-try, because you're going to want to take a hard, long look at this one. Keeper for us.